Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and tonight we're going to talk about PlayStation versus Xbox and why I recommend Xbox over PlayStation 5 this early in the console generation. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get started with this. So, I've had my Xbox Series X since day one. I bought it mainly for the backwards compatibility and to upgrade, the games that I already currently have. I've had the PlayStation 3 now for just over 3 months. So, in that time, I put out a video, reviewing both systems. So, basically, the reason why I recommend the Xbox Series X or Series S over the PlayStation 5 right now in the current lifespan of these consoles is the Xbox Series X or S delivers a far greater value. Yes, the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X both cost the same amount of money. I guess if you could find the elusive, unicorn digital version, then, it would be... You could probably get that and 2 games for your PlayStation 5 for... Well, no, I still don't think that is a good value. Okay, I'm not saying the PlayStation 5 is a bad console by any means. It's wonderful. It definitely is holding its own, in terms of power, up to the Series S or the Series X right now from everything I've seen. With the PlayStation 5, if you buy the PlayStation 5 and one first-party Sony game for $70, that's $570 without tax. If you buy the Xbox Series X and sign up for Game Pass for 3 months for $15 a month, that's $45. So you have basically the Xbox Series X and Game Pass for 3 months that you can play every single first-party Xbox game that they have, plus everything from Bethesda. All of the EA Play games are on there as well, so basically you can get Madden and everything, from last year, like right now, just download it right onto your system. FIFA 21, download it right onto your system. So you essentially have a catalog of over 500 games for the price of, for what is it? It's like $45 for 3 months or something, versus $70 for one PlayStation game. That PlayStation game, it depends on the one you buy. Like Ratchet and Clank. Just take Ratchet and Clank, for instance. I bought that game. I paid $85 for that because I bought the digital version of that. So, I got just over 10 hours of play on the standard difficulty. And that put me at, 57% through that. That game looks amazing. It's beautiful. The gameplay is exactly what Ratchet and Clank has been, and I mean, there's definitely new stuff to push that franchise forward. The addition, of Rivet, amazing. She's an amazing character. I really do like her. So, I mean, yes, you are getting a pretty high quality game. Like that there's no doubt about that. It looks amazing. The use of the SSD is very clever and very good, and it works. So, basically, though, for $70, man, for $570, you're going to get your PS5 and Ratchet and Clank. Now, a game like Demon's Souls, it's a niche title, but you're definitely going to get more gameplay out of it because you're going to have a longer experience. There are third-party games out there, but we're talking just first-party games, because that's what people buy a system for, is their exclusives. So, right out of the gate, the Xbox is a far better value, because after you beat Ratchet and Clank after 10 hours, I mean, yeah, you can keep going back to it, I guess, but there's only so much Ratchet and Clank you can do. I think 15 hours max on standard difficulty is about what, like, if you run through that, you could probably because if I completed it and I was 57% done with it, I'm pretty sure you could probably complete it because those levels aren't really super huge or nothing. And I mean, it's not like the secrets are like hard to find. Basically, they're right there. I mean, it's going to take you a little bit of time to like, to probably grind out, all the points to upgrade your weapons and stuff. But that's not that big a deal. I mean, I guess you could play it on a harder difficulty to slow down your progress, throw more enemies at you or something like that. But I mean, it's not anything that, there's no more enjoyment out of that game playing it on any other different, difficulty levels. I mean, if I was to put it on, journalist mode and play it on the easiest mode they have, I'm pretty sure I could have beat it in way less time than 10 and a half hours. So, but with the Xbox Series X, if you buy Game Pass for 3 months or even invest $70 into Game Pass, the exact same amount as you would pay for one first party title, that gives you pretty close to 6 months. 6 months of Game Pass for the same price of one game. So in 6 months, depending on how much time you have, you can play hundreds of games. You could play so many freaking games that, I mean, you're going to be so busy playing those games on Game Pass that you probably wouldn't need to buy another game. You could just keep your Game Pass thing going for the next year or so. You will have over 6 new titles, in the next 6 months. I mean, you're talking Forza Horizon 5 straight to Game Pass. You will have Doom Eternal with the Xbox Series X upgrades straight to Game Pass. I mean, you have so many more options of games to play on the Xbox Series X over the PlayStation 5 with the higher $70 cost. Returnal, I mean, you going to buy Returnal? I mean, yeah, I mean, you can do that. You can buy, what is it, Miles Morales, or get the Spider-Man upgraded, the whole package, the upgraded package. Not a bad deal. Definitely a great game. The main Spider-Man game was about 10 hours long, 12 hours long, and the Miles Morales game is about 5 hours. So that's another 15 hours of gameplay that you'll have for that. And if you're an achievement hunter, you can probably stretch that to like 20, 30 hours. You have Returnal. It's a roguelite, definitely a niche title, just like Demon Souls. Definitely a lot harder to play. So that's probably going to, I mean, depending on your play style. I've got about 9 or 10 hours into that, and I quit playing it. I probably need to re-download it again now that they did put out an update, a patch for balancing and stuff, so I can, replay through that and see if my my opinion on that has changed at all. The combat's fun. It's definitely a fun game. It's really fast, but it just felt broken to me, so I wasn't able to give it a high review. I think $50 is a fair price for that game, and if they do get it balanced right, then it's probably a great game. So that's the reason why I recommend Xbox over the PlayStation 5 right now as it is. You have enhanced backwards compatibility. You're able to upgrade your storage right out of the gate. You have the system is far more user friendly. It's it's a more it feels like a more complete experience, minus the games that haven't come out for it yet. We've had 2 exclusives come out to it. We had Gears Tactics and the Medium, but now that's going to start changing here with, over the next 6 months, you're going to get 1 to 2 games every month going into the holiday season, and then after that in 2022 all the way up to the end of 2019, you're going to have, or I meant 2020, or the end of 2022, you're going to have they showed off a total of 30 titles at the E3 conference, and 27 of those are going straight to Game Pass. So for the next year and a half, you're looking at like $280, for Game Pass on top of your, and I mean, you pay this monthly, $15 a month. So, I mean, if you were to buy the PlayStation 5 and each game for $70, I mean, well, you know what? I'm gonna be a little more fair than that, because at PlayStation, if you sign up for their games with gold, you will get access to 20 PlayStation 4 games, some of their greatest hits, to be able to play right there day one and you download them to your system. So that's another $60, for the, so you buy your PlayStation 5 and $60 for your PS Plus, you get those 20 games, and you know whatever games they give away free every month. It's been hit or miss on that. I mean, but I mean, like Xbox's Game of Golds has been garbage for a while now. So I mean, but your better value is getting on Game Pass. So I mean, yes, you do get those games on PlayStation if you sign up for that. But I mean, you're gonna buy your PlayStation and want to see like one of the newer games. You're not gonna want to play old games, right? I mean, that's the whole reason you bought a PlayStation 5 is you want to play new games. So if you buy any of them new games that you can still basically buy all of them, but Ratchet and Clank and Demon Souls on your PlayStation 4, and the same goes with Xbox. Everything that's coming to Xbox has been on on the Xbox One. So the better value, I believe, is the Xbox right now. I mean, PlayStation does make amazing games. That their games are great, but when it comes down to it, what's the better value right now? Xbox is the better value right now. Out of the gate, Xbox is definitely the better value. I mean, later down the road, the PlayStation is definitely going to have PlayStation 5 exclusives that are going to be amazing games. So either way you look at it, if you go Xbox now, you get more bang for your buck. If you go PlayStation right now, it's going to be a lot more a lot higher cost of entry to get, you know, the new exclusives and everything, because I'll tell you what, I haven't really seen that many sales on these PlayStation 5 games. I mean, it's been, you know, pretty, they've held their prices up, they're pretty high. So, I mean, when it comes down to it, if you're looking for value, buy the Xbox. If you're looking for PlayStation, you know, highly curated, you know, one and done masterpiece game, I don't say one and done is a bad thing, because I'm a PlayStation fan. I've been buying their games for a long time. I usually buy them, I beat them, and I'm fine with that. I normally play a lot more third-party games. So that's not a bad thing. That's why I buy a PlayStation, is for those games, whether they're one or done or I play them a couple times. I rarely ever do that. So I'm not saying that as a mean thing to like be like, oh gosh, I love Xbox. Like Xbox has I don't really, like, I really don't care that much for Xbox first party. My favorite Xbox first party is Forza Horizon and Forza. Those are my two favorite. I like Halo. I mean, it's great, but I've never been like, oh my gosh, I love Halo, I got to buy an Xbox for it. I've never been like that with Gears. I don't really like the way the shooting feels on Gears, but I do like the story. I do like the game. It's pretty fun to play. I've never been a major Xbox first party game. Well, I guess that's changed, because I definitely love Bethesda games, and they are Xbox first party now. So that definitely sways me, you know, toward Xbox, you know, even more. But I still love my PlayStation and my PlayStation first party games. So I'm not either one of the. I'm not a fanboy for either console. I'm telling you straight up, the Xbox right now is a better value. You can get way more bang for your buck and way more stuff to play. PlayStation, it's a higher cost of entry, but you're definitely, I mean, it has nothing to do with the power gaps or whatever, okay? They're both extremely powerful consoles. Ratchet and Clank right now is the best looking thing that we can buy right now to play. Ratchet and Clank. The next best thing is Forza Horizon 5. That looks better than anything I've seen on any console. Like, Forza Horizon 5 looks freaking amazing. So, right now the best value is Xbox. We know for sure we're getting at least six Xbox exclusives, you know, within the next 6 months or whatever. Well, I don't know. They're not all of them are first party, but some of them are exclusive. They were they're third party and first party. I mean, we get Dark Alliance here in like 4 days. So that there is coming straight to Game Pass. You get more value right now out of the gate if you go Xbox than you do PlayStation. PlayStation 5 is definitely, I mean, they're both great systems. I give them both that. They're both great. They're both powerful. They both have amazing looking games. So that's not even a question. I am not making a recommendation over the power of these consoles, because they're both pretty powerful. And they're both good. They're both competent systems, so that has nothing to do with why I'm recommending an Xbox over a PlayStation. The whole reason I'm recommending Xbox is because of the value and because of everything that you're going to get to play when you buy your Xbox. You're going to have a lot more. You're going to have a lot more access to a lot more content. With PlayStation 5, it's going to be a minimum of your $500, your $70, your first $70 game, and $70 or $60 for the 1 year subscription to games with gold. I don't see any other reason to buy, games for gold in any cheap, or yeah, PS Plus for any cheaper than that, because it's I mean, like, that's just dumb. That, you buy, I think they're having a sell right now. If you buy your PlayStation right now and you get on there and get your games for gold, you can get it for like $45. So that's a pretty good value, because they have been hit or miss. I mean, we got last month we got Wreckfest for PlayStation 5, and that's an amazing game. So, like, there is value to be had either way, but out of the gate right now, today, if you buy an Xbox in Game Pass, you're set. You have way more content than you'll even know what to do with. On PlayStation 5, it's going to be a higher cost of entry, and your choices are going to feel a lot more limited. When I go through the store and I'm looking for stuff, I'm like, oh gosh, man, there ain't nothing to buy right now. And that goes for both of them. I mean, well, I don't know. I buy a lot of my games on Xbox now because there's a better chance they're going to be upgraded when I buy my next Xbox console. So I just barely today reserved my copy of Scarlet Nexus. So I definitely will be putting out a review for that after I've gotten, after I'll do a first impressions, and then I'll do my review on that one. Depending on how long that game is, I'm kind of thinking we're going to get some gameplay out of that. So I'm going to be pretty happy for the most part. So, yeah, guys, I definitely do right now recommend Xbox out of the gate because you can get a better value just by buying Game Pass. PlayStation is not a bad system by any means. It definitely has delivered in exclusive games. I can't really call them exclusive because a lot of them are coming to PlayStation 4 now, but that doesn't matter. They do look and play way better on PlayStation 5 than they're ever going to play on a PlayStation 4 Pro. So, if you have the disposable income and you don't mind and you want, PlayStation first party and PlayStation, yeah, dude, get the PlayStation 5. It's a freaking amazing console. You're not going to go wrong with getting a PlayStation 5. Eventually, you are going to have, there is a lot of content on the PlayStation 5 when it comes to third party and in PlayStation 5 games, like there's enough content to satiate to keep you happy for a while. My thing is with my PlayStation 5, I bought most of my stuff on the Xbox Series X because I had it 3 months sooner, so I was buying. I mean, I'd already had like all my games already bought on the Xbox, so my playtime with my PlayStation 5 hasn't been as much because I haven't needed to play it as much because I have everything on my Xbox. But for you, that's probably different. But as far as right now, out of the gate, PlayStation 5 does have exclusives. It does have, some pretty beautiful games on there. I mean, Demon's Souls is amazing. Like, everything I played aside from Returnal is pretty freaking, it's pretty good. I don't know if I necessarily believe that all of these games are worth $70. I mean, Godfall, definitely not. That game is just stupid. I had no desire to continue playing that game whatsoever. I mean, there are some good ones out there, and there are some, ones that are just like, ooh, gosh, really? So, PlayStation 5 does have exclusives, and it does offer an amazing visual experience and, performance to go with that. Xbox, on the other hand, doesn't really have a lot of exclusives out right now, but you have a unbelievable amount of content that you can get for as low as $15. So, I still recommend Xbox over the PlayStation 5 at the moment, but the PlayStation 5, I mean, that could change whenever. You still cannot upgrade your SSD card for the PlayStation 5 as of this video. So, that's been over 7 months, man. Like, I don't know what's going on with the PlayStation on that. That is one of the biggest things that I'm still upset about on my PlayStation, is not being able to upgrade my storage because I'm already sick of deleting games or having to download them to that hard drive, because that is a freaking chore. Yeah, if you want to move stuff, you got to select them all, and then you got to watch that screen until they're done moving. You can't turn your console off. You can't do nothing. You have to sit there and watch that freaking screen for however long it takes to get there. If you got an SSD that you're transferring them to, it might be a lot quicker. But transferring them to the HDD that I got, wow, dude. Wow, that's ridiculous. It takes way too long, and you're stuck on that screen. If you want to transfer 15 games from your Xbox hard drive to another hard drive, man, you can hit the button and click it and go right into playing another game, man, and it does it all in the background. The Xbox experience is by far the most seamless experience out of these two consoles. The PlayStation 5 is clunky. It takes a long time to do anything. It's kind of dumb, guys. It really is. It's kind of dumb. You buy a PlayStation 4 game, but you get a free update. You got to go into one and you got to download your save or upload your save, and then you got to re-download the save and all that stuff. On Xbox, you turn the game on and it downloads it right there for you, right before you start playing your game. No problem. It's already there. It's already done. It's so seamless. Smart delivery will deliver whatever game you buy your game on the Xbox, on the one, and then you plug in your Xbox Series X and you start downloading the game. It's downloading the next gen version for you, and it's bringing your save with it. The Xbox is such a seamless experience. As of right now, the PlayStation 5, like I said, it feels clunky. It feels like it's a dumb system, guys. It feels like a dumb video game system. Where the Xbox literally feels like an ecosystem. You got everything right there at your fingertips, and it feels good. It's fast. It's responsive. Loading times between each system is, I don't know, man. Like it's hit and miss. Some games download or play really quick or load really fast on Xbox. Some load really fast on PlayStation. So, yeah, I mean, when it comes to like the specs and that stuff, the only thing that really sucks about the PlayStation 5 is it kind of feels stupid, where the Xbox feels smart and more next gen. In that terms, where the PlayStation 5, it does feel like a next gen console for sure, but I don't think it's as thought out and well planned as the Xbox. So I mean, that's just some of my thoughts, guys. That's why this whole video is why I recommend Xbox over PlayStation 5, and why I feel like the Xbox is a better value out of the gate right now. If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I really hope you watch the video all the way through, and have a good night.